this helps his cause for Home Office security, or is it just the craze found that the celebrities often get?
It adds a real humanity to the situation, because before we're talking about, legal aspects, and you're talking about the court case, and I do believe, despite what Harry said, it has gone through the courts and he's appealed. He had the right of appeal, and it was turned down by the judge. In this case, though, we are learning that there is a person now, as you say, who's a fixated individual who came within a few feet of him, and suddenly this hypothetical threat it's a real one. You're putting a real situation to it. And I suppose it's very easy to speak about the technicalities and the legalities of how this is all played out, in that he now has that, which he's very unhappy about, bespoke arrangement as opposed to automatic protection, police protection. But I've just put myself in the same shoes, and I think, well, if it was myself and my family, suddenly having known that someone was able to get that close to him twice within a couple of days, suddenly it becomes very real. And I think no matter what you think about Harry, and I certainly understand the criticisms, and I also certainly understand that idea of, well, he's left the royal family, and so, that's part of the package of being a royal, is you get that automatic protection. On the flip side, I say, well, he was born into it. It was something that, the royals, there's only a handful of them, and he was born into it. I think it all went through the courts fairly, but now, I suppose for me and for other people, I would imagine too, it becomes a lot more real. It becomes a lot more of a real threat, and you sort of feel Harry's fears a little bit more. That's my take on it.
Arthur, one of the issues behind this was that his father, the king, would not speak to Harry when it was going through the court. But does this now bring pressure back onto the king to help out, maybe, with Prince Harry's security, now knowing, as we say with Brontë, there is actually almost a human being, there is a face that has been reported as being a stalker next to Harry. Does it bring fresh problems to the king to help his son if he needs security?
Well, I think this stalker, as a young lady, I mean, Prince Harry's got two ex-Scotland Yard guys working for him now anyway. They handled it brilliantly. They just held her back. I think, Harry's not a member of the royal family anymore. He's not a working member of the royal family anymore. And he's got a stalker, I mean, every day you pick the paper up, someone's got a stalker. Marlene Klass has got a stalker. I mean, do they deserve protection from them? As the late Queen said, you can't be half in and half out of the royal family. You're either in or you're out, and he's out. And so I don't think, I think you should get the government to the Home Office to protect him. I think he's got these minders with him now, and they did a brilliant job. I think it's got a bit overplayed,
They said he was safe. They said he didn't deserve it. They said he was being dramatic. But twice, yes, twice, a stalker has gotten dangerously close to Prince Harry. And now even royal insiders are whispering that the king himself feels pressured to reinstate his son's security. The question is, why did it have to get to this point? Why did it take danger for common sense to finally break through the cold indifference of the royal establishment? Welcome back, my darlings. This is Adrian, and today we're unpacking the real story behind Prince Harry's stalker, the royals' chilling silence, and the media's twisted double standards. Because if this doesn't wake people up, nothing will. Let's start with the facts. On 2 separate occasions, a stalker managed to get within a few feet of Prince Harry. Not just once, twice. This isn't some overblown tabloid spin. It's confirmed. And remember, Harry has been fighting tooth and nail for years just to buy his own police protection when he visits the UK. He's been told no at every turn. He's been dragged through the mud for daring to suggest that he, his wife and their children might still face threats. Now, tell me this. If a stalker had gotten this close to Prince William or Princess Kate, would there even be a debate about security? Absolutely not. The nation would be in panic mode, the tabloids would be screaming about royal safety, and Downing Street would move mountains overnight. But because it's Harry, the one who dared to leave, the one who told the truth, the one who refused to play their game, suddenly it's a budget issue. Suddenly, it's his fault. Now, let's talk about the so-called royal experts who make a living criticising Harry's every breath. Samara Gill and Arthur Edwards, names we know all too well. Arthur Edwards, the Sun's royal photographer, has built a career following the royals around with his lens. But the man doesn't just take pictures anymore, he takes swipes. He's been one of the most bitter voices against Harry, calling him spoiled, out of touch, and worse. Yet, when a stalker breaches his security perimeter, not once, but twice, Arthur still finds a way to twist it back to criticism. How sick is that? Instead of expressing genuine concern for Harry's safety, as any decent human being would, he downplays it. Pretends it's all about attention, pretends Harry's fears are exaggerated. Arthur, this isn't about paparazzi or palace politics, this is about a man's life. And Samara Gill? Oh, she wasn't far behind. Samara, in her usual passive-aggressive tone, questioned whether reinforcing Harry's security might send the wrong message, as if wanting to stay alive is some kind of moral failure. That's the problem with these so-called commentators. They've spent so long trying to villainize Harry that they've lost their humanity. They see headlines, not heartbeats. They see narratives, not danger. And yet, they'll be the first to cry crocodile tears if tragedy ever struck. Imagine if Prince William or Princess Kate faced the same threat. Would the response be slow, or would the state act immediately? The answer is obvious. Their safety would be non-negotiable. The difference in treatment between the brothers is stark. William's protection is guaranteed. Harry's is questioned. The double standard is rooted in Harry's decision to step back. It's less about security, more about control and conformity. The monarchy rewards those who stay in line, punishes those who don't. Family bonds appear conditional. Protection depends on obedience. The risk should determine protection, not job titles. By treating Harry differently, the monarchy exposes its own hypocrisy. Not all princes are equal. Some are essential, others disposable. This sets a dangerous precedent for any family. The message: independence comes at the cost of safety. The injustice is clear and the consequences are real. Not all voices are cold. Some show empathy and logic. Journalists like Brontë Coy see the situation for what it is, a security failure. They argue Harry's right to safety shouldn't depend on his royal status. These commentators cut through protocol, focusing on the real issue: a man's safety. They remind us Harry is a human being, not just a public figure. Their support provides a crucial counterbalance to negativity. This isn't just about Harry, it's about justice for anyone who speaks out. They defend the principle that safety is a fundamental right. Their voices call for compassion and reason from the authorities. In a landscape of criticism, these beacons of empathy matter. They offer hope for a more balanced conversation. They challenge us to see the story with clarity and compassion. The royal family's stance on security is riddled with contradictions. Take Prince Andrew, stripped of titles, embroiled in scandal, yet he keeps taxpayer-funded protection. He's no longer a working royal, but his security remains. Meanwhile, Harry, also high-profile, is denied the same. The rules are bent for some, rigid for others. The message: compliance is rewarded, independence is punished. Andrew stays quiet and protected. Harry speaks out and is left exposed. This isn't about security, it's about politics and retribution. The public sees the hypocrisy, undermining the monarchy's credibility. How can King Charles justify protecting his disgraced brother but not his own son? The decision exposes deep flaws and personal vendettas. It's a crisis of leadership, not just policy. The system values silence over honesty, compliance over fairness. The consequences are dangerous and divisive. So, yes, the king should feel pressure. Because what we're witnessing isn't just a son being let down by his father. It's a system failing a human being. Arthur Edwards and Samara Gill can keep spinning their bitterness, but the truth is plain. Prince Harry deserves protection. He's earned it. He needs it. And every time the British establishment turns its back, it reveals just how hollow its talk of duty and family really is. To Brontë Coy, thank you, for seeing what others won't, for standing on the side of reason and compassion. And to Prince Harry, we see you, we stand with you, and we will never stop calling out the injustice that tries to silence you. Because truth, raw, real and relentless, will always find its way through.